You have a real sophisticated energy to you. You know what you're giving me? You're giving me the lethal one-shot kill of a great horned owl and how it literally does a nosedive with its little wings spread out but kind of like tucked for maximum speed until it identifies, locks on its prey, does this maneuver, puts its talons like above its head to protect its face, and dives right towards the jugular of its prey, killing it in one shot with 500 pounds of force, all the while being completely and utterly silenced, quiet, I don't know. You know what I mean. You're giving me something like where it's like you will bide your time until you know when it's time to make the right move. And when you strike, it is a one and done. When you make your move, you hit your mark, and I feel like people are truly fascinated by you. It's like I'm getting animals because it's like the way you operate and this like and the ability to kind of like explosively get something done, right? But all the while not making a big deal out of it. Like there's a nonchalance to you that adds on to the aura that you exude. And we're just look the I'm gonna shuffle again, but these cards popped out and I'm like, they're kind of perfect. So it's like the first one we have the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is the silence. You're not really letting people know much. I feel like you used to be a lot more accessible. The Seven of Swords gives me the impression that at one point or another, people could find you. People could go to a certain place, text your phone, you know what I mean, and you'd be there, you'll respond. You're not there. You're gone. You're gone. And people wondered, were you ever okay, I'll tell you what they thought it was. They thought you're waiting, right? You're waiting, longing, yearning. But you're not doing that at all. You're calculating, biding your time, and acquiring like what you need to make your move. All the while, people have no idea what's going on in your brain. But it's like when you do make your move, a lot of stuff starts to make sense about you. A lot of stuff starts to like your the personality quirks. It's like I don't know. People will read you and assume how you're acting is because of them. There's something about you that does that for people. Like I don't know if it's just a facet of the human mind, but it probably is. But I feel like with you specifically, I don't know. People get caught up in a fantasy about you in their own minds. I don't think that they tell people about this, but in their own minds, where it's like they build a narrative about why you act the way you act, and it's not necessarily in relation to them, but people love to make your story, right? Until you step out and actually write the real page. You know what I mean? But people are so fascinated with your energy that they, I don't know, they want to explore even the possibility of who or what you might be, even if they are so off the mark, right? What are you doing, collective? Because this is giving me like you're out there blowing minds. Like we got the Eight of Wands. This is the swiftness. I love how accurate these cards are to the great horned owl analogy. The Eight of Wands is about fast forward communication. This is a spunk. That's really what the best word for it is. It is spunk. And then also with the 7 to the 8 is growth. Your words and actions continually become more entwined. It's like you are a person who does exactly what you say you will. You're a person who is exactly who they say they are. I kind of like this. This is good energy, collective. So we're going to get into this. It's got hot and dangerous. You got the Queen of Wands. So yet look, it's all fun and games until you make your move. I just threw the card. We'll pick it up in a minute. But basically, look, the Queen of Wands is not to be played with. The Queen of Wands is What do you call that? Somebody, again, like, because spunk has a dual definition. It simultaneously means a go-getter, somebody who is witty, somebody who is like emotionally vibrant and alive, but that comes with no nonsense. You say what's on your mind. If somebody pisses you off, they're about to know. There is a full sort of like devotion to authenticity with you, and it kind of like supersedes your conformity drive, like your desire to people please, which I feel like I'm not getting that you used to be. Well, maybe you were, but I don't know because I don't know because it's almost like could you have ever been a people pleaser? Being who you are, I don't know, right? But what I don't know, the human mind wants that for companionship so you can get along in a group. But there's something weird about you that your mind doesn't seek a group, nor does it seek approval or validation from anything outside of itself. It's weird in a good way, in the best way possible, but it's weird. It's absolutely weird and people notice it. People notice it, you know? The Queen of Wands is somebody who she's not necessarily an open book, but she's not hiding much. She's really not. She's bright and open, but there is a hidden side to the Queen of Wands, right? And I feel like your hidden side is your silent lethality, your silent move forward, your silent kind of acting on plans. Because the Queen of Wands is also about actions, but the feminine energy is more low key, right? The feminine energy isn't screaming out, right? It's kind of like, it's not in the background, but think of it like the sun in the sky, right? The ambient heat and light all around. The masculine may be the object, but the energy it gives off is the feminine. And I feel like that's what your other side is. It's like this depth to you, this sureness that other people don't see on the surface during the daytime. It's like when your moon rises, so will your truth. And that's what I'm kind of getting from that little hexagon, whatever you call that thing, rising above her head. What's that? Oh, a kava? Not the kava. No, what's it called? A Merkaba. That's what that is. That's what that is. So yeah, you people know. People know. And look, here's your day side. Queen of Pentacles. This is funny. It's all about your feminine energy because what I'm trying to tell you is there is an undercurrent that people really feel like you have, and this is confirming it. And there's also a river, that you are really like, again, sophisticated, complex, up there. You're also taking yourself seriously while not having an ego. It's just foreign to people. You don't need to compare yourself to know yourself, which directly violates how the human mind operates. The human mind operates in relations. So you need loser to define winner. You need hot to define cold, or well, technically, you need cold to. I mean, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Anyway, let me not get into semantics here. But it's like you definitely have this like thing to you, like to where it's like you're well rounded all the way through. And then we have the Temperance. This is somebody that I don't want to say roll with the punches. I don't think you're that type. This is interesting. Temperance, you have a level of control that you seek. And sure, it could be seen as a darker trait, but you're not seeking to control others. You're seeking to have dominance over like your life as a whole, including your immediate physical environment, right? And I feel like that it gives a sovereign type of energy instead of an entitled one. Because an entitled energy would be you want people to lay themselves at your feet, bring you anything you could desire at the drop of a hat. No, it's not that at all. The sovereign is the one who knows themselves. you're not, you know that you're a leader. You know that you're up there, especially in your own life specifically. Like you hold the key. And that's what gives you this sophistication. Like you're not at the whim of another. You're not. I don't care if you have a boss. They're still not the boss of you. Not like in the same room, their title might be bigger than yours, but the interaction you have with them, it's on the same playing field. They can't little girl you, little boy you, right? They can't. No one can. No one can. And with temperance here, it's like you operate from whimsy and then cold hard logic. And if they make you flip that switch or they make you get creatively logical, it's through. It's through because you're about to just, you're going to say something that they've never heard before. You're going to say something that they're just not ready to hear. You're going to do something that just blows them out of the water, without even trying. That's the type of person you are. That's why you're seen as classy, sophisticated. You're understated while being a juggernaut at the same time. I literally, for some reason, X-Men First Class comes to me a lot in these readings with y'all. Not every single one, but a lot of them. And I'm just getting like, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch. But it's funny because the Juggernaut was loud, bodacious. I don't even think that's the right word, but you know what I mean? He was loud and annoying, essentially. So you contain the power of the Juggernaut without the personality of one, but yet you're still able to use it to its full potential without delving into toxicity or malice. It's masterful, it's artful, it's pure art. And with this Six of Wands here, people notice it. People notice it. This is like a recognition for somebody who takes the mind and utilizes it in a real way, right? Where you're not hiding things from yourself. You're not afraid of reality. You're not afraid of a harsh truth either. I feel like you could roll with a harsh truth. You live for one, honestly, because once you get it, it's like it transmutes into something else, authenticity that matters more to you than a temporary hit to your ego that will heal in a matter of hours. You have perspective. You have true perspective and you're not short-sighted. Not in the way that a lot of other people are, especially in the moment. People think because of the way that you are that your ego is your weakness when it's actually your greatest tool because your ego is firm, absolute in some ways. But it isn't big. Just like I said in the last reading, it's not obese. It's not it's not obese. And I say that word because it's a medical term and usually it speaks to like, I don't know, widespread systemic issues which you addressed. You address the bloat of your ego. You're not afraid. Again, you're not afraid of a harsh truth. You're not afraid of yourself. You could say, I feel like if the divine was to place you in a void and all you had to do was interface with your unconscious mind, other people would be driven to insanity or anger, and I feel like you just make a friend, right? Because you're a question asker, like you're interested, and not just in a superficial way. And I feel like you're not interested in everything, but once you are interested, like the person knows, right? And I'm not talking about romantic. I'm not talking about platonic. I'm talking about when somebody piques your intellectual or spiritual curiosity, they know. They know. And I feel like, to be completely honest, those are the only types of interactions you're seeking as of late. It's giving me like the everything is spiritual vibe, and you're on that. You are on it. This is so funny. Look, we have the moon. The moon is all about the human unconscious mind. The moon is here to let you know that if you're ever confused about why a certain cycle perpetuates in your life, the moon lets you know it lies in the unconscious mind. If you want to unstring yourself, you have to work on your unconscious mind. If you want to physically change your reality, you have to work on your unconscious mind because it's the driver of your everyday reality. Like, yes, we have our normal conscious thought, but There's so much more going on in the background that it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. I've also said this multiple times, but the human unconscious is compared to the void of space for a reason. It's not just to be cute. It's to truly like bring home the concept of as above, so below, right? So it's like when you work on your unconscious mind, it's like you're taking a cosmic level position in a way, right? It's no big deal, or it is a big deal, right? And I feel like, I don't know, it feels more mundane, but if you really give it some thought, it's not. And I feel like that's the type of wave you're on right now. Like you are really up in there doing real work, playing with the gears and the mechanisms. You know, in Evangelion, specifically the end of Eva, in the beginning, for some reason, this is my most favorite scene in an anime of all time. It's basically when Colonel Katsuragi was. Oh no, not Katsuragi, but the other one, the blonde one. She was like fixing the Magi computers, and she was like in there, and so well, Katsuragi was in there too. But you know what? Anyway, it doesn't matter. But they were in there, and it was basically this giant like cybernetic maze of a supercomputer. And it's like they're just in there tinkering and playing with shit that literally makes no sense. It's like, how would you even know what buttons to press? There's a literal brain in there. It's weird. It gets weird, but it's like you're up in there. You're in that command center. You're understanding this technology that is foreign to people, you know, that is complex and scary even. But it's like you're in there. I don't know how you're in there, but you're in there. You're in there. And we got judgment. Spirit brings you to these places on purpose. Every trial and tribulation you've ever been through has been to unlock gateways, portals, to access levels of information through understanding. And I feel like if you felt like, damn, I've had to do a lot of things the hard way, yes and no, because it was required for the type of, I don't know what you ask, Spirit. You give me the type of person who asks for knowledge. And so it's like, because you ask for knowledge, Spirit will take you on a grand journey. And yes, that comes with trials and tribulations, but it's like just the sheer joy of overcoming them in the first place seems to drive you. That's why Spirit works with you like this. They know that you can go the distance. You're not fragile, right? And it's not that Spirit's reckless with you, but it's like, you let them work on you. You're real good at that. You're real good at it. And I feel like by letting Spirit work on you, it teaches you how to work on yourself too. It's like a feedback loop, right? And it's coming to me in the form of like a supercomputer and the vastness of space. That's why I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, what do you got going on? Why is your energy like this? Yeah, we get the Four of Swords, but there's a piece to you. There is not, see, with this, you'd expect like high frequency, but with the added effect of like overstimulation, you know? But this Four of Swords is somebody who's very grounded, somebody who's quiet on the inside. It brings us back to the beginning, right? But yeah, like you're not neurotic. And neuroticism is a function of the human personality. It's not a bad thing to be neurotic. So, but it's like these traits and this level of intensity and energy would naturally lead one to think about overstimulation and neuroticism. But you are so grounded, and your neuroticism, if you do have any, it's more beneficial to you than it is detrimental. It makes your mind work faster, and it may generate anxiety, but you transmute it with temperance. Everything is, nothing goes to waste with you. That's another what Spirit likes you because of that. You utilize it all. Every card dealt to you, you know how to play that hand. It's like it's good. You're not throwing your cards away. You're using them. What can be detrimental to you one day can be a treasure to you another, as long as you know how to manipulate it, right? And when I'm talking about manipulation, I'm not talking about a free will of other people or anything like that. I'm talking about of your environment, your mental, spiritual environment. Like you're allowed to enact that control. And honestly, it's your duty to do so, you know? But collective, like you're real highbrow. You are very sophisticated. This is not a game with you. It's very real, and you're the MVP.